Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving for all those podcast listeners here. The second season of the Section 420 Talkin Yankees podcast audio version of the show, as well as any veteran Section 420 Talkin Yankee fans that might know the show from YouTube, Rumble, or from television as well. So I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving there. So I think I want to use this episode, I'm going to call it like the turkey trimming. So nothing really major going on since the last, insert, which was Garrett Cole's, no doubt about it, Cy Young Award win, and of course the little beef going on between Stanton and Brian Cashman possibly. So we'll touch upon the latter, and of course the Yankees made a number of just small little roster moves, little knick-knack moves, and maybe you know about it, maybe you don't know about it, but I figured just use the episode to kind of wrap that all up, and as well as serve some yams and some cabbage and corn and all the good stuff there. So again, this is the turkey trimmings episode. So before we get started, if you haven't done it already, make this holiday season special. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast, Section 420 Talkin Yankees. Wherever you're listening right now, subscribe, follow, like. Also go on the YouTube channel. This episode's there, even though we're in the off season, updated there as well. Section 420 Talkin Yankees on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, like, and get notified when new episodes go up there as well. So Yankees making a number of little roster moves, little tweaks, and that's actually in a way I'm glad to see it, because it seems like the Yankees are kind of clearing the slate of a lot of these kind of Dollar Tree / bargain basement type of players they've had, and it looks like if they're clearing up the roster, and hopefully they're bringing some real serious ball players in here and making some really big moves in the offseason. So good sign. Of course, went through the last little cluster there with a bunch of Yankees on the waiver wires. No one claimed them, so then they went to free agency, and that was kind of the group with like Herman, as well as like Billy McKinney and that sort of group, and they all kind of going to free agency. We were left with, which at the time I always don't worry about it, we're left with Jake Bauers. Oh my God, good thing we didn't lose Jake Bauers. Well, looks like now he's gone as well. So we'll go over these little roster moves. So I guess first with the Bauers one, I guess, not saying it's the biggest, but I guess, it's some sort of activity with another team. So the Yankees trading Bauers to the Milwaukee Brewers for a pair of outfielder prospects. So it's outfielder Josh Avina, 20 years old. Looks like in single A last year. This year just passed. 14 home runs. Looks like 10 stolen bases and an OPS of .815. So, all right, not too bad there. As well as a 19-year-old Brian Sanchez, who hit .297 in this past season in rookie ball. So, someone on the rookie level and someone in single A. So, again, what are these guys going to become? We don't know, but I just like the fact that the Yankees are clearing Bauers off their roster just to clear up space there. And what was Bauers? He was a kind of part-time player for the Yankees. Outfield as well as could play first base in a pinch. So it was good to have that ace in the hole, especially when Rizzo went down. But of course, you're expecting Rizzo to be back, so he'll be your full-time first baseman. And of course, as we all know, since he's still around, DJ LeMahieu also has the ability to back up at first base as well. So not really much room for Bauers. And again, you're looking to bring some other outfielders in here. Not to have Jake Bauers, who at best is just a bench player. Again, not terrible for the Yankees. Hit some home runs. Jake Bauers, home run power, whatever. That would be the Sterling call. Maybe I blew it, maybe I didn't. But nevertheless, he was just a stopgap player, so he's not someone you're hurt by missing. So that takes care of the trade thing now. And this is really no surprise here. So the Yankees non-tendered a few players, and this was announced a couple of weeks ago, so there's nothing new, but now it's official. So that'll be Albert Abreu, Lou Trevino, who didn't even pitch last season because he needed Tommy John surgery, and Anthony Manskowitz, who was, I guess, unfortunately, infinitely known by taking a line drive up the middle off his head in that game against Pittsburgh. Luckily, it didn't seem like it was something too serious, but nevertheless, not a good night for Anthony there. But those three will not be back with the Yankees next season. But that was kind of announced a couple of weeks ago, but now it's official. Now, who the Yankees did tender are guys that you would expect to be back, and that's Nestor Cortez, Higashioka, Jose Trevino, Clay Holmes, Jonathan Loaiza, Michael King, Clark Schmidt, and Gleyber Torres. So they're all going to be back now. It doesn't mean they're going to be playing for the Yankees next year, because obviously the Yankees probably going to look to trade Higgy. I think they go with Trevino and Wells as their catching duo, and it could also mean that maybe Ben Rovette is dealt somewhere. And of course, you expected those bullpen guys to be back, such as Holmes, probably going to be a closer. Loaiza is probably going to be a setup man. King, they experimented with him, so he might have a shot for the fifth starter role. He'll probably have to compete with Clark Schmidt with that, but keep him Schmidt. And then Gleyber Torres, who's entering an arbitration year. And again, I made the case in the last YouTube episode. Again, he would be someone that maybe the Yankees looking to trade just to bring someone in here, maybe a left-handed bat. Just kind of switch it up a little bit, because again, he's been around here for 5 years, and for 5 years this team hasn't gotten any closer than they did in Game 7 of the 2017 American League Championship Series against the Houston Astros there. So if you want to maybe freshen up this team, give it a different look, to give it a different perspective, maybe Gleyber is someone the Yankees look to trade. But nevertheless, that group at least guaranteed to be back in some fashion or form, but again, during the offseason, maybe they get traded there. So that's kind of all the business side of the news. So Bauer was traded, a couple of guys not coming back, like Abel Abreu, good riddance, and then of course, keeping guys like you expect, Nestor, King, Loizaga, all that stuff there. So nothing monumental. So that's the business side. As for the drama side, of course, I guess there's been a little bit more, get a little closure between the barking going back between Giancarlo Stanton's agent and Brian Cashman. Again, this goes back to a couple of weeks ago, Cashman made the statement that with Giancarlo Stanton, you just got to expect injuries to be part of his game. And I don't think Cashman was really being nasty about it. I just think it was as a matter of fact. And unfortunately, then Stanton's agent took that the wrong way and kind of put a statement out there. It's like, sort of, well, if you play in New York, you got to be Teflon tough because you could even get pot shots from your own organization, meaning Cashman's statement there. So looks like Cashman did contact the agent. They kind of hashed it out and said that he didn't mean any disrespect. Again, just stating the fact that, yeah, Stanton's injured a lot, but saying how Stanton is part of their plan. So I guess not really looking to move him or anything like that. I'm not sure if I actually believe that, but nevertheless, that's Cashman's official word, and supposedly they buried the hatchet and they're going to move on from there. And of course, Cashman, what he does every year for the charity, spending his one night as homeless to whatever that thing is that he raised money. So he took the sleeping bag and did that as well. So Cashman humbling himself a little bit after being the kind of a bit of a wise guy a couple of weeks ago in his presser there with the sunglasses and the cursing, the dropping the F-bomb and all that stuff there. So maybe Cashman, kind of coming back down to earth a little bit. I still think, though, that Cashman like to find a way to move Stanton, and that whole thing with Cameron Mabrin with the tweet mentioning that Stanton's not exactly happy here and not exactly dying to finish his career in pinstripes. Maybe Stanton wants out. So behind the scenes, though, I think I'll put a friendly face on it, but maybe Cashman and Stanton would like to mutually find a way to get him out of a Yankee uniform, get him out of here and go somewhere else, which I think that'd be great for the team if they could find a way to do that. Because Stanton last season, not only was he hurt, but again, he finished a batting average under 200. It's just how home runs here or there, but it's just has had a miserable season. The past couple seasons haven't been good for him at all. Undependable, always getting hurt. The one thing about him, he does hit in the postseason. I mean, when the Yankees are in the postseason, he has had his share of some home runs. So I'm not going to say he's a total bum. Not going to say, he's a bust like that. But he's getting older right now. You can't really play him anywhere because, he's basically a DH at this point. Even though he likes to play the field and, his numbers are better when he does play the outfield and he feels like he's more in the game, but he gets hurt too much. He's just too unreliable and he's just kind of bogging down this lineup. So if there's a way that someone Cashman can move him some way, somehow, whether it's this offseason, sometime next year, whatever, I think it's something they definitely have to explore. So that's the latest in Yankee news. No more Bowers, but, he's a Brewer now, so Bauer a Brewer. And we move on here. And again, once again, have a happy Thanksgiving. And we'll probably catch you on the other side of the holiday. Later.